dokie. It's been roughly 2 or 3 very long years, but now I finally get to express my thoughts on this film, and the wait was completely worth it. Full disclosure, there will be spoilers in this video, so don't watch if you intend on eventually seeing it for yourself. Also, I was only able to watch the English dub, so that's what I'll be critiquing. Honestly, I'm glad I did too. I feel like it wouldn't have been as much fun of a theater-going experience with subtitles. So...
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
I can't hear you!
Aye, aye, Captain!
Alrighty then!
Now, before I get into spoilers, my overall impressions. First off, I once again must stress that I've always seen Ultraman as the perfect missing link between Godzilla and Power Rangers, and as the second part in Shinji Higuchi and Hideki Anno's planned Shin universe, I would definitely consider this movie the younger brother to the older sister that is Shin Godzilla. Thematically, they really are two sides of the same coin, kinda like Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 by Guns N' Roses, or Load and Reload by Metallica. I know those are bizarre comparisons, but that's how I roll. While Godzilla, for the most part, has always represented the consequences of humanity's irredeemably destructive behavior, usually in solo films where he doesn't fight another monster, Ultraman has always represented the extent and capability to which humanity can ratify those mistakes and do better. In layman's terms, it's your basic optimism versus pessimism, you get the idea. And in that regard, I have to say, these are probably two of the most faithfully executed film adaptations I've ever seen to any existing IPs in history. Especially this one, cause, let's be honest here, Shin Godzilla definitely had a few aesthetic deviations. Some not so good, while others... Secondly, the special effects. While they are definitely akin to the more subpar moments in Shin Godzilla, they're still very solid for a budget of only about $7 million. Besides, that's where more than half the charm of tokusatsu as a genre comes from. Special effects that are crappy to the point of entertaining absurdity. Dare I say, it's campy.
I did not realize that. Yeah. Russell, did you realize that?
No, I did not realize that.
I'll dive more into the plot in just a second. I don't want to spoil anything quite yet. But for what it wasn't bad. It's just not your prototypical narrative structure in the Aristotelian or Hollywood sense. Oh, and the ending was admittedly a bit abrupt, but that's kinda how the show ended, so I didn't mind it too much. Just trust me when I say that while you'll definitely get a kick out of the action, humor, and thematic elements, chances are you're probably not gonna know what the flip-floppin' fuck is going on unless you're a die-hard Ultraman fan like myself.
Okay, now we'll dip into some spoiler territory. Turn back now if you still care. Ready? Still here? Okay then. So, building off what I mentioned before, this movie seriously is a perfect adaptation. Like, really perfect. Like almost too perfect. Let me explain. To begin with, the plot of this movie is literally just 5 different episodes of the original show loosely strung together, specifically episodes 3, 9, 18, 33, and 39, which was the finale. It's very similar to anthology movies like Creepshow and Trick or Treat, except these stories are all technically connected via the SSSP, aka the Science Patrol. Your 5 villains for this movie are Niranga, Gabora, Zereb, Mephiles, and Zeton, each character retaining the spirit of their original designs, yet still being updated appropriately. And in true Shin Godzilla fashion, they recycle a lot from the existing source material. And I do mean a lot. The sound effects, the individual plot sequences, even specific shots were literally copied and pasted verbatim from the original show. Understandably, they were on a tight budget, and experiencing these moments for myself on the big screen did put the absolute biggest smile on my face. Of course, this film isn't without its deviations, issues, and quirks. In my teaser breakdown, I mentioned how Ultraman doesn't appear to have his traditional color timer that signals whenever he's low on energy. And there's a reason for that. Here, when he first arrives on Earth, he's all silver, and when our lead, Kaminaga, not Hayata this time, is killed by the impact, his essence is absorbed by Ultraman and he earns his classic red hue. Then when his energy depletes, he turns dark green, which is really bizarre. I guess they thought the color timer would have been too annoying. That's actually another minor gripe I have with this film. I kinda wish they had given more time to develop Kaminaga's character more. He literally dies within the first 5 minutes of the movie, Ultraman bonds with him, and every time Kaminaga's on screen, you're seeing his body with Ultraman's personality. This is drastically different from the show, where Hayata's life is restored after he's released, and he never reveals to anyone that he could turn into Ultraman until the very end of the last episode. Here, they don't waste any fucking time. His identity is literally revealed before the halfway mark of the film. It's almost too fast-paced compared to the slow burn of Shin Godzilla. Then again, that is to be expected when you're adapting 5 different episodes of a television series into one long screenplay. The characters were all fine. I think they captured the vibe of the original Science Patrol team pretty seamlessly, especially Taki, who acts as the comic relief tech nerd, and Asami, whose dorky method for self-motivation is constantly slapping her own ass. It's pretty fucking funny. Fun fact, you might recognize the on-screen actor for Captain Tamura for not only his role as Kamen Rider Black Sun, but also as the lead from the movie Drive My Car, which was nominated for an Academy Award back in 2021. The English dubbing was also fine. It coincided well with the characters on screen, and a lot of it was done by voice actors from anime franchises like One Piece and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, including one Frank Tadaro, who you may recognize as the voice of Mugman from Netflix's Cuphead show.
What you need is a new brother. Just listen to how good this sounds. Mugman, Mailman. Mailman, Mugman. Mugman, Mailman. Mailman, Mugman. Mugman, Mailman.
When Zophie showed up with his badass new gold and black design, I thought for a brief moment with his British accent that he was voiced by Ben Kingsley. But nope, I was wrong. Depressing, I know.
Whence is that knocking? Wait, Duncan with thy knocking. I wish thou couldst. They couldn't get enough of it.
Now, before I go, I have 2 things I still need to address. One that I absolutely loved, and one I was a bit more disappointed by. First, the disappointment. Of all the things they ripped straight from the show, why, oh why, in Jiminy's jolly green fucking asshole did they not include the opening theme song? I know getting a choir of kids would have been difficult, but you have the original recording, just use that. To be fair, it might not have meshed well with the more existential themes, but even then, come on guys, you know this isn't Requiem for a Goddamn Dream. It's totally okay though, because the opening scene completely makes up for it. Right after the title screen, we're greeted by a montage of different kaiju from Ultraman's prequel series, Ultra Q, including Pegula, Larugius, Pagos, and Gomez, who was modified from the Shin Godzilla model. A genius and hilarious nod to how the original Gomez from the 60s was created by modifying one of the Godzilla suits. Overall, despite the minor complaints, I thoroughly enjoyed it from its first to last moments. Watching something like this on a big screen here in the US was the most surreal experience possible, and I was absolutely giddy with excitement the whole way through. Ultraman has been one of the most inspiring franchises in my life, and I can say with confidence that no matter whether you're new to it or you're a lifelong fanatic like myself, this film completely exudes a special kind of nostalgic feeling that you can't really find anywhere else, and in that regard, I highly recommend it. For my rating, I give Shin Ultraman the strongest 9 out of 10. Now let's hope that the sequel, Shin Ultra 7, and Shin Kamen Rider can live up to it. Rock on, guys.
I'm at the